What's up everyone, I'm Bill, I'm with Calimoto TV. Welcome back to the channel. We're here at WORKS Motorsports here in Sonoma and we have the BRZ. We're actually kind of doing something a little special, a little bit different than you'd normally expect. Now, we are dynoing the car completely stock. We've done absolutely no modifications to the car. It's actually been sitting. Sorry it's taken so long, but we're gonna dyno the car before we do anything to it. Then what we're gonna do is we're actually going to install the Invidia exhaust and do a drop-in air filter and then dyno it again to see what kind of actual gains we have. Now, at the end of the video, make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you hit that subscribe button just in case you guys want more notifications on the BRZ build. We're gonna be documenting everything and we are gonna be back here at WORKS soon for what this car is getting. But anyways, we're gonna get some sound clips of the Invidia, so it's gonna be really cool. So I'm gonna walk over here because we got Jeff. What do we call you, Jeff? Are you like the master tech?
I guess so. I do a little bit of mechanic work, do some tuning.
Oh, lighting's horrible. Here.
Oh yeah.
So we're jacking up the car. Now I've never seen a dyno like this. We don't have a tub in it, right? So here, we'll focus on that. So we don't have like a big tub in the ground. So this is actually what they call a hub dyno.
Yep. This is a Dynapack hub dyno, and it just bolts straight to the. We take the wheels off. We put these special adapters on, and then we just slide the units onto the hubs.
So it's a little truer because you don't have the drag of the tires on the tub.
Exactly, or you don't have any slip, especially with like higher horsepower cars that we do a lot of boosted.
This thing is just,
yeah.
we would just go right off the dyno. So
yeah, we might
until 4,000 RPMs.
Blow
Then
some
it's
rollers.
like
Blow some rollers. So yeah,
Sweet.
so that's what we're gonna do.
All right, so we're gonna get this thing jacked up, so stay tuned. Again, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and let's get rolling on this thing. All right, so we've got the hub, and these are the, I guess, are these the the tubs, essentially? I mean, this is what obviously is gonna measure the horsepower.
Right, so this is the actual dyno pack itself.
Okay.
So these are essentially basically just electric motors that
Okay.
are connected up to the hubs.
Yep.
And we can actually provide a load onto these electric motors. By doing so, we can actually simulate and find out exactly how much power is being put down. So basically, you're putting in a certain amount of power. We give it, a destined set of range between. So let's say we want to start at 2,000 RPM and go to 7,000 RPM. We'll go ahead and give it a time frame.
Got it.
As to how long it'll take. So with that information, the electric motor can actually, tell you the exact, or the opposite, I guess, the information, and it'll give you the information regarding, how much power it took for it to hold that power.
To move the power and
right,
move the motors and stuff like that. Okay.
Right. Kind of not really explaining that correctly, but essentially what it is that the electric motor is.
So for people that know a traditional dyno, because this is what we're really kind of is.
Right.
This is what would be hooked to the drum essentially of a traditional dyno, right?
Right.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different. It's basically the same setup, but rather than having a large roller,
yep,
we have
it goes right to the
separate
to the
pods.
wheel. So basically they put the adapter on, which now you can see they're just working this in. You'll see here in a second that once that slides in and tight, and then it locks itself in. Well, there we go, and pink. So now we've got both dyno, we'll call them motors, pods. The pods are hooked up, and he is. Oh, you just released the car right onto it. Huh. All right then. So we're hooked up. So what we're going to do is we are going to be dynoing this completely stock right now. We just want to get some stock numbers to see how bad it is, and then we're going to put the exhaust on and the drop in and see how much difference horsepower it actually makes. So stay tuned, guys. All right, so we got Jeff in the car, and we are all warmed up. We're going to do our first pull right now, right?
First pull.
So we got this is a Dynapack dyno, right? Yep. So let's see what this thing looks like. running back here. So we got fans blowing into the front of the engine, and then of course we got the big fan blowing out the exhaust. So he just said nice. What are we seeing nice of?
The air fuel ratios are just really...
Look at that. Oh yeah, pretty nice across the board, huh?
Yeah.
And our horsepower, 152.
Not bad.
All right.
We're gonna do another one now.
And then our wonderful dip,
Yeah.
our BRZ dip.
A little bit.
Damn, pretty right on, huh?
Consistent. The first run is always going to be a little bit off, just because it's I really don't know why, but it's always just a little bit off. So basically, I mean, it followed the same line.
And which one's the second one?
The green one is the second
The green
one.
one's the second one.
Yeah.
Sweet. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna move to the front here just to get a little better lighting. So what we're gonna do is we're going to run a couple more, then we're gonna do a drop-in air filter, just simply a drop-in air filter, and check and see what kind of horsepower gains we get from just an air filter. Then we're gonna add the exhaust, do it again, and see what we can get. All right, so we've done the first dyno run, we've got our baseline. So what we're gonna do now is we're installing just an aftermarket WORKS air filter. Ran about $70 for the air filter, but what we've noticed and what Pete's looking up on the dyno and we're doing some comparisons is the air fuel mixture and ratio for the 19 is so much better than the previous. So it's all about science, right? It's the numbers and the science, that's what the dynos can do, but we're gonna install it anyways. We're gonna see. We don't know how much more and better gains we'll get just because the 19 has such a good air fuel ratio that the air filter might not make that big of a difference. Now in the past, up to 17, 18, it has made a big difference, and we just looked at one and we see horsepower change and everything. So let's do a quick install real quick, and pretty simple. WORKS air filter, and of course you get the now it's cleanable fabric, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
So we
cool.
do actually provide, or we do sell an air filter cleaning kit. That's
Okay.
available on our website as well. But this is our filter. So going back to just horsepower figures and whatnot, even if it doesn't pick up too much horsepower, it will improve the breathing on the engine. So
And that's what the filter's all about, right?
right at the end of the day, engines are just breathing machines.
Right.
Suck air in, push air out.
In
So
and out,
if
in
get
and out.
that
We always
easier,
talk about that.
that's what it's all about.
And
So-
the install of this is pretty simple. We've got a couple clips, right?
Super simple. So the airbox actually opens up just like this. You pop these two clips. It's super simple. You don't have to remove any bolts or anything like that. It gets a little bit tricky in terms of you do have to finagle it a little bit, but this pops right out. You have your factory filter right in there. Try to make some room for it. Pull this guy out. So the factory paper filter, you can see, is a little bit different.
I mean,
design.
Yeah, absolutely.
Comparison.
So you're getting bigger air intake with the bigger wafers, or what do they call them? What's the technical term for that?
So the technical term, I'm not actually sure what that would be.
I don't know.
But anyway, the thing is, you basically just have a different.
Yeah, much different.
Right. So
And on the other side?
it's patterned
Yep.
differently.
Yep. So you can see more air is going to get through this. Now this is a cleanable fabric, like we said earlier. How often do I have to replace this filter?
Replacing the filter, it highly depends on your environment, which
Yep.
one you're in. Let's say you live in the desert with a ton of sand, obviously you might want to replace them more often. However, with these filters, you often don't even really have to replace them.
Replace them,
Just have to clean
just clean them. Exactly.
clean it,
Perfect.
right.
That's where I was
you
getting
clean
at.
them,
So
once every other oil change is typically the go-to for cleaning them. Or once every 10,000 miles or so. But,
Okay.
Super simple install.
Yep.
Once you've got the factory air filter out, you just go ahead and move this off to the side. Pop that guy right in there. Just like that. make sure everything is sitting flush. And then you can go ahead and
back on it goes.
close the box just like that. You got to make sure that the clips.
There's clips on the bottom. I saw the clips on the bottom. So make sure that there's a little clip that goes in a little square.
There's a female side and there's a male side. So you're going to want to make sure that those actually align properly.
Yep.
And you'll actually know so by you can tug on the back of the box.
And it won't open.
And it won't shift outward like this.
Perfect.
And then right after that,
clip it
in.
Put your sticker on.
And you're done.
All right, cool. Now, Pete, real quick, we talked about, I know you're trying to work on this, Pete. Let me get on this side. So we talked about the benefit of a drop-in air filter and stock air box compared to, say, like an air intake or a cold air intake. Now, my logic always, with all my cars and everything, is it's better to suck air from an enclosed area than an open area. Do you agree with that? Is that why we'd stick with the stock air box instead of having just a cone filter in there?
Well, the temperature of the air is critical.
Yes.
And so typically the OEMs will design an enclosure air box to draw cold air.
The coldest possible, right? Because it comes right from the front of the bumper.
Right. And when you have an open element in the engine compartment, it's a very hot environment.
Yep.
When the car is actually running.
So instead of sucking the cold air in from the cone, you're actually sucking the cold air in from the exterior.
Correct.
And it's going directly, and what comes in is straight air. There's no hot air, it's just straight front end air.
The ambient air from the front of the vehicle.
Ambient air, thank you.
Rather than inside the engine compartment.
Technicals. So what did you find on ratio? Because I know you were playing around with that. Just to kind of give you guys some looks of, so this is our air fuel ratio. Okay.
And this is the value versus RPM.
So it's a little dip there, but that's when we start, right?
That was the first run.
Yep.
So oftentimes the first run will take some adaptations to get used to.
But pretty consistent. I mean, it's laid over the other two runs.
The last two runs were very consistent.
All right,
so
cool.
It looks good from the factory.
All right. So we're gonna start this thing back up. We're gonna do another couple runs. I think Jeff's gonna hop in here right now. We're gonna do a couple more runs, and then we're gonna check to see how much a drop-in air filter, if it does anything or not. So. All right, so we're just running our last dyno. We're doing a comparison. Man, this thing gets a little loud. You don't realize how loud the engine can be when you're inside the car. So let's see. This is our third and final. All right. So break it down for me. What do we got? What do we got?
So we did a series of pulls.
Okay.
And basically, it seems it made a little bit more.
A little bit more horsepower
just
at the top end. Okay.
And it made a little more in the mid-range too, right there between 32 and 4.
We're looking at the green line and the orange line?
Yep. Well,
okay.
Yeah, and then so it picked up a little bit there, and then it picked up a little bit
right there,
right around 55 to 62, and then about the same at the top. So pretty good all around there. These aren't actually. This is actual axle torque. It's not. We're not making 550 foot-pounds of torque. Don't worry about that. That's actually the torque right there.
There's the torque curve.
You can actually see a little better with the green,
little bit, yeah,
compared to the orange. So you have considerable amount of more torque throughout the whole power.
So the green was the very first one. Let me get rid of the shadow. So the green was the first one. The orange is the last one.
Yep.
So again, air fuel ratio.
Yep.
Much better in the orange. So actually, a little bit of an improvement.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, quite a bit. Yep.
So even though we had good, it made it even better.
Exactly.
So how much horsepower gains do you think we got off of?
2 horsepower.
2 horsepower.
And the max torque that we gained difference was 4 foot-pounds of torque.
Okay. So 2 horsepower, 4 foot-pounds of torque we've added with just dropping in the air filter. So, I mean, for $60 to get 2 horsepower, I'll take it all day long.
And typically a cold air intake really isn't going to do that much more. So you're going to spend...
Cold air isn't going to get us any more than a $300 cold air intake to a $70 drop-in WORKS filter.
Really not going to be that much of a difference. Maybe 1 to 2 more horsepower.
I'll take it.
So,
all right, so we're going to let this thing cool off. We're going to add the exhaust now, and we'll be back to do more runs. All right, guys, so I know you guys see me a lot of times just having people work on my car, but guess what? I get dirty too. So we're going to actually head underneath this car and take a look at the exhaust. So I'm actually going to replace the exhaust because I thought it would be nice. And the guys are busy here. So 2 bolts there and out to the stock muffler. And 2 bolts there. And then about 4 hangers. So let's see what we can do on this creeper. Creeper. Wish me luck. Invidia exhaust is going on, and should be just a few minutes. We're gonna do a couple more pulls, and we'll be right back. All right, so we have gotten the exhaust all put on. Pretty easy. I would say once I got the right tools and everything, 15, 20 minutes, not too bad. Pulls out 4 bolts and 5 hangers to pull it out, and then 6 bolts and 5 hangers to go back in. So let's take a look at the Invidia N1 exhaust. Very nice stainless. So you can see there's the 2 bolts there and there with the gaskets, and then all the way down the resonator, and then the 2 bolts down at the end, and then of course the gasket there. All right, go ahead. All right, so we're gonna get this thing fired up. We're gonna get it back on the dyno, and we're gonna see what numbers we get now that we've added the drop-in filter, which we've got those dyno numbers, and we gained about 2 horsepower. Now we're going to add the, we added the exhaust. We're gonna see what kind of horsepower gains we get now. All right, guys, so we're on the dyno. We're ready to roll. See what this thing's got. Actually, I'm gonna go back here to the exhaust. All right, let her rip, baby. Got a little croggly croggles. Woo! And of course, it's smoking because it's brand new exhaust. It's just burning through everything that's inside. It's got little oils and stuff like that, so as it heats up, woo! Smoky. So let's head over to the dyno shot. All right. So here is the very first pull. Kind of a warm-up pull, right?
Yeah, always the first pull.
So the first pull's not that bad. So we're at 155.
Yep.
So 152 this morning.
Yep.
So with the air filter and exhaust change, noticeably 3.5 horsepower.
I think, yeah. Right about,
yeah, 52 and a half. So we'll compare them here in a second. So let's do another run and see what it's about to do. Damn, damn near exact.
Yeah.
Little bit different on the, well, the RPMs didn't matter.
No, we're gonna check the air fuel. Air fuel's spot on.
Oh yeah.
Of course, with anything like this, you want to do a tune to really take full advantage of it. So,
Yeah.
bolt-ons are just, you know, they're gonna do what they can, but it's not gonna only so much.
So the full everything would be a tune and everything, right? Like
Exactly,
that.
yeah.
So can we tune it as it is, or do we need additional to do the tune?
You would need some sort of standalone or software to tune it.
Okay.
Usually you can do that with a standalone, Ecotech.
Okay. And those are the aftermarkets that we've seen.
Yeah, exactly.
That are on the market. And then what you guys do is you guys tune that to the specification of the car and everything?
Exactly. So we'll tune it, we'll take out that little hump with the air fuel up at like 13.5. We'll
Yep.
bring it down a little, you know.
So to be nice and
Just
even.
make it nice and smooth. We try to fix that as best we can, that torque.
How much can we get rid of that torque dip?
We can get rid of a lot. Unfortunately, you can't get rid of all of it.
Yeah.
We can get rid of a lot of it, just messing with timing. And
So we're not going to need to worry about this because turbo's coming, right?
Exactly.
So that's going to cure everything. So I don't need to invest in the tuner because the turbo is going to basically take care of that, and it's all going to be tuned to the turbo.
Exactly.
Done.
Exactly.
All right, we're going to do a couple more pulls. Let's get on the road and let's see how this thing sounds out on the road. I would say cold start, but Boggan's going to love it.
It's a lot more rumbly, huh?
A lot more. Yeah, we kind of wanted, so the goal with the exhaust, obviously we kind of knew we were either going to supercharge this or we were going to turbocharge it. So the idea really wasn't for a horsepower gain on this, it was really for the sound.
Yeah.
So, wait, what's behind us? Oh, that's, so in the rear view camera, the microphone's back there. I was like, wait, what's blocking us?
Nothing.
All right, so hopefully the microphone doesn't fall off.
Yeah. Well, we can see it.
Well, if we're throwing in reverse, yeah, it definitely sounds better.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna love the sound.
Oh, yeah.
My neighbors won't love the sound, but
That's their problem. And plus, when you turbo it, like, you know, just upsizing the exhaust helps so much because you're just trying to let it breathe.
yeah. So the turbo, we're gonna work out the fine tuning with the turbo. We really wanted to deal with making sure that it's carb legal. Everything we're doing to the car is California carb legal, just so you know. We haven't deleted any cats or anything of sort, so we definitely want to make sure that that is stated correctly. So I still don't even know how to turn this stupid thing on.
Yeah, that's how I always have the same problem when I drive the BRZ. It's like
Air up a little bit.
it's not exactly intuitive. That view though, right there.
Oh, love the view. So we're at Sonoma Raceway. We are gearing up for, or they are gearing up for NASCAR. I'm not going to be out here, but we've been talking about it, and it's a big weekend, NASCAR weekend here at Sonoma Raceway. Tens of thousands and thousands of people come out to the raceway, but we absolutely love this on the motorcycles. So we haven't been out here with Cali track days yet, only because one day, for people that don't know and understand what track rental costs are for a weekday here at Sonoma Raceway, after I have to pay for insurance and everything, is upwards of $20,000 for the day. If you are lucky enough, which you will not be lucky enough, to get a weekend, you're looking at $25,000. Now, that's a slight discount from Laguna Seca, which is about an hour and a half from us. Mazda Raceway, or excuse me, WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca, is upwards of $25,000 for a weekday and $30,000, yes, that's a day, for track rental. So absolutely crazy. To give you a reference, we run Buttonwillow and Thunder Hill. We are at a measly $12,000 a day. So
That's done.
and that's I mean, you know, So, all right, so we're at the highway. What is this, 120? Is this 120?
121.
121 in Napa. We're not gonna go too crazy, but we're just gonna run it through the gears and get some sound out of this thing. Let's see if the mic's still there. Mic's still there. I have to throw it in reverse. Sounded really good on the dyno.
It did. It really did.
Really good. All right, guys. So let's get out here. Turbo. This thing is so that was 55 because that's what the speed limit is. Third gear, and that's fourth. It sounds really good.
It's not really raspy in the car at all.
No, I mean, it's loud. Don't get me wrong. Inside, it's loud. It's loud, but it's not like there's not much. There's a drone. Yeah, that drone, like right there. 4,000 RPMs, fourth gear. But you know what? I mean, this isn't a quiet car anyway, so it's yeah. So. Yeah. I can't wait. All right, so
it's a whole different car then.
I can't wait for the turbo, really. So we are 55, no joke, 55 neutral throttle right now. I'm off the throttle, 6th gear, and this is kind of what the sound is at 55. Actually, really not that bad. I mean, you know, kind of cruising is obviously going to be a little bit higher, but we've got okay in front of us. Yeah, you know, at the end of the day, Bogdan's gonna love it. She's got a noisy car again. If you guys don't already know, she had a Subaru STI, and it was just too much car. I don't want to say it's too much car for her. She drove the car great. It was too much car for me. Like it's kind of like riding the new BMW S1000. It's so much bike. It's so much bike that I can ride. I mean, I can't even ride that bike to its potential. And it's kind of the same thing. What's nice about this car is it's super low. It's got great suspension. It's got the Brembo brake package. It's now got a little sound to it, and we're gonna add a little bit more horsepower, a manageable horsepower. 90 horsepower when we add the turbo?
Yeah, about 90.
So 90 horsepower, and then we will probably most likely add the delicious tuning, which 20, 30 more?
Actually, it's about 60.
So we're definitely going to add the delicious tuning kit. So, you know, our goal is to keep this to a point where we don't have to add any more to the base motor works. We're just back up at works.
It's just
thank you. So we don't want to add anything to the need of the actual motor. We want to be able to just basically do enough bolt-ons that we don't have to go into the internals of the motor. We're at 1,600 miles right now, so really we just kind of wanted to kind of keep it easy and keep it calm. So we're a little hill, so we got a little load. Yeah, it's loud. It's kind of loud.
That's what Invidia's known for.
But it's the deep, it's the throaty, it's what we wanted in the exhaust. We didn't want a raspy, ricey. We wanted that deep thud, like, you know, I don't want to say muscle, like the muscle car, but it's almost like the muscle car, right? It's like that deep.
It's not.
Kind
it's
of,
definitely not a raspy exhaust like you would find in a cheaper product.
Yeah.
Or even some of the other competitors' products, they still have, you know, a raspy tone.
Right. And some people
throaty.
Some people like that. Some people like that tone of exhaust.
Exactly.
It's not for us. So, but we're back here at Works. So we are gonna wrap up this video now. I'm happy with the turnout. I think we got 2 horsepower extra with the drop-in air filter. So is it worth it? I would say yes, especially for 70 bucks. 2 more horsepower with the $500 exhaust. Was it worth it? Well, we've got the sound and we got 2 more horsepower. So if we're looking for big horsepower gains, no, that's when we're going to spend for the turbo. But anyways, thanks guys for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and leave me a comment down below. And make sure you watch out and ring that bell so you can see more about the BRZ Gray Series build. Thanks guys.